my beautiful people. How are you doing? How is your day? How is everything? Hopefully, you're doing great, and welcome back to my channel. And in today's video, we have this hairstyle. This hairstyle has many names. You may either call this hair Kiko or threading hairstyle or Brazilian wool hairstyle or old school hairstyle or Benny and Betty hairstyle. So if you're my returning subscriber, thank you so much, honey, for coming back. I do appreciate your love and your support. But if you're new to this family, you're welcome. My name is Glory Mtui, and before you leave, kindly give this video a big thumbs up, because if you do so, YouTube will push this video to more people. Thank you. I start by parting my hair, and as you can see, I part almost the end of my face, but you may either decide to do any way to part your hair depending on your face shape. I love to say the hair looks good when you realize the type of your face and to know how to section or to part your hairstyle. So I'm going to do very simple hairstyle. I'm going to work with only 5 lines. So go ahead and cut your wools. I only use 1 pack of Brazilian wool. Apply some hair wax because you don't want to cause any tension on your scalp. So when you apply some hair wax, you'll be able to hold all the hair. For these 2 first sections, I use 8 strands each section. Slowly, I start wrapping, and as you can see, I leave a little amount of hair of wool before I start wrapping. Because we are joining these sections, wrap until you feel like the section you're wrapping it's long enough to join from one section to another. Again, I section another section. I apply some hair wax. I make sure I hold all the hair well and I will not cause any tension. Then I start wrapping. Don't forget, when you are wrapping, you have to keep some amount of hair, especially if your hair is short, because you need to wrap a little distance, a little bit longer. So if your hair is short and it's not long enough, keep some hair, keep some wool, so you'll have you have to keep wrapping. And then in the end, make sure you secure. So on the 3rd section, I use only 4 strands. And why I use 8 strands on these 2 first sections? Because these they don't need to, I will not add any hair on them. But from the 3rd strands, as you can see, there are a lot of leftover from section number 1. So the section number 3 will be more bigger if I use the same 8 strands. So at this point, you have to reduce the amount of wool to maintain the size from section number 1 to section number 3, number 5, and other sections. So as you can see, I keep wrapping, and when you realize that the wool is short, you don't need to worry about it. If you have a lot of leftover, go ahead and pick the same amount of the wool you started to wrap. So like this section, I start with 4 strands. So when I add the same amount, 4 strands, and I keep wrapping until I feel like it's longer enough. Then I secure to avoid the hair to unravel. So section number 2 goes to section number 4. I make sure I divide my natural hair into 2, and then I put that new section in between of my natural hair. And then I take new 4 strands. I wrap like 3 times on my hair so that the hair and the wool will not slip out. And then I join the wool together with my natural hair. Then I wrap all of them together. Hopefully this makes sense. Keep wrapping until you feel like the distance is long enough to join from number 2 to number 6. Again, if you feel the wool is short, pick some left over from the previous section and then keep wrapping. In case you realize the wool is not long enough, go ahead and pick new 4 strands and then keep wrapping. And when you feel it's long enough, don't forget you have to secure one time, because when you take this hair down, it won't be difficult. Again, I keep repeating the exactly procedures, but in these last 2 strands, I do something a bit different, so please keep watching to see how I join these 2 strands and form 1 strand. So this is the last one on this line. I hold it well and then I take my new strands for wools and I wrap couple times. As you can see here, I'm not wrapping really too much. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then 6. Then I take the previous one, and at this time I'm going to join or to hold them together, and then I'll be using the same wool to keep wrapping. And I keep wrapping until I feel like, okay, at this point I cover my hair well. Then I will secure the section. In case the wool is short, here you don't need to add 4 strands, just add 1, because you want the end to be thin so that it will be easier for you to style it in the end. So all of these 5 lines, the direction goes the same way. So if the first line you start wrapping going upward, make sure the remaining lines and sections will go the same side upward. But if you start the first line going downwards, make sure the other sections will go downwards. So again, as you can see, before I join these 2 sections together, make sure I divide my hair into 2 even 2 sections. Then I place the new strands in between my natural hair, and then I take 4 new strands and start wrapping. Don't forget, you don't need to wrap too tight because you want to enjoy your hairstyle. You don't want to cause any tension on your scalp. And I'm going to repeat exactly the same thing until I finish this line. Since I want to do something simple and cute, you may either decide to hold all the wools together and make a low ponytail, or you may either decide to add some hair. It's all up to you. You may either decide to see what it's easier for you and how long you want to keep your hairstyle. If it's something that you can keep within 2 weeks, 3 weeks, go ahead and wrap like this way. wrap all the leftovers, and then make sure you secure the end because you don't want the sections to unravel. Then I take one new strand and then I make sure I secure there. You may decide to leave your hairstyle just like this way or add some hair in the back. So you have two options. Choose one, the one works for you. If you leave like this is how the back will look like. So I decided to go ahead and add some hair so that you can see the difference between adding some hair or leave without adding some hair. So I only use one pack and I go ahead and I trim a little bit on top. Then I crochet the hair just like this. Every time I pick one strand, I crochet and then I secure like this way. The fullness of this hairstyle, it gives you different final look. You may either decide to do fuller or a little bit less. Just pick which makes you feel comfortable, feel confidence, and enjoy your hairstyle depending on the season and where are you going with your hairstyle. So I make sure I only cover the entire back side. When I crochet the hair, I make sure I keep pulling because this hair, it has natural twists. So when you keep crochet without pulling, you'll realize that the hair you crochet is too much and the hair is too full. So when you crochet a little strands, go ahead and pull to feel or to see the fullness of the hair. And after that, spray some water because when you spray some water and keep pulling, the hair will look even more good. And then trim off all the excess hair. And this is the final look for today's video. This is how the hair looks like. So please let me know, what do you prefer, with crochet hair, adding hair in the back, or without adding hair in the back? Please leave your comments in comment section. I love you guys so much and I will see you very soon on my next video. Take care guys. Bye bye.